My people, my Biafran people, now how a day? I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on where you're listening to the sound of my voice. This is the Biafra Superstars Media, and I'm holding it down. I say, may God bless Biafra, and may God bless His Excellency Oyendo Mazinam Bekano. May God bless, may God bless, may God bless His Excellency, the Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra, His Excellency ESN Ekpa Simon Njoko, for the job Simon is doing. Simon, I want to say we thank you, we appreciate you, we love you, because we know in your hands Biafra has come. In your hands Biafra will be safe, and in your hands that Biafra has come. The people of Biafra will rejoice. When we say the people, we mean the men, the women, the children, the old, the young, the sick, the poor, the mild, the gentle, those living in the lower class, those living in the middle class, even those living in the upper echelon of life. We shall all come together under one voice, Lord have mercy, under one accord, under one union. We shall come together and assemble to give God the glory, the God of Biafra. Above all, I say, may God bless Her Excellency, the Deputy Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra, Her Excellency, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. Madam, you've done a great job. Madam, we appreciate you, and we say thank you because you are doing a great job. My people, what you're about to see today is me calling out on the Finnish president, Mr. Alexander Stubb. And I want to remind him to be careful not to taint the reputation of Finland. We know Finland, that when it comes to human rights, Finland always boasts to be number one. When it comes to those countries where human beings are respected, where the rule of law reigns supreme, Finland is always number one. But somehow, something strange is happening. There might be a turn of event, because Nigeria, a very strange and peculiar, criminally minded country, Nigeria is about to do what Nigeria does, which may taint the reputation of Finland. So today, I will speak on three perspectives. The first one is to remind Alexander Stubb, the country Nigeria that he is dealing with, is to let him know that those he's going partnership into, if he pretends not to know who Nigeria is, if he's naive about Nigeria, the world knows Nigeria very well, and Nigeria knows the world. There is a reason why any country you go, when you carry a Nigerian passport, you are being detained, you are being looked at like a criminal. Your documents are not respected. Even the money you carry with you are not respected. When you claim you are going to a school to study, they will have to call the school to check if you have paid your school fees, if you have paid your so-called hostel accommodation, to check if as well that you are even given a real admission. Nigeria. Today, I want to remind Alexander Stubb that before you taint the reputation of Finland, knowingly or unknowingly, because you holding our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, is a very big mistake. The country you are doing it for. Today, I will remind you, because sometimes they say ignorance is not an excuse in law. You may claim not to know about Nigeria. You may claim to pretend not to know the history about Nigeria. Perhaps you may even claim that you were a young boy, a baby when the Biafran War was taking place, or you were not born during the Biafran War. I don't know. But today I want to remind you of what Nigeria is, of the rulers of Nigeria, how they are seen and perceived in the whole world. And afterwards, I will give you words from our Deputy Prime Minister, Her Excellency, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. At this point, my people, permit me to present to the Finnish president, Mr. Alexander Stubb, the country called Nigeria, the country that you are taking their words against your citizen, Mazi Simon Ekpa. We have told you that Simon Ekpa has no case to answer, that Simon Ekpa has to do what he has to do to protect his people in Biafra land, because Nigeria is fantastically corrupt. I quote Lord David Cameron, Nigeria is a shithole country. I quote Donald Trump. These are the words of the number 2 man and number 1 man of the world, America and Britain has described Nigeria that way. So, Mr. Alexander Stubb, if you pretend as if you don't know who is Nigeria, what Nigeria is to the world, I will present to you right now the perceived notion of how Nigeria is, that just yesterday, being the 1st of January 2025, I want you to listen to how the president of Nigeria was described. If you are ready, let's go there. Listen.
One such list was also published on World Leaders to rank the most corrupt one in the year of 2024. 2 African leaders have made it to the top 3 on the list of the most corrupt leaders of 2024. The 2 are Kenyan President William Ruto and Nigerian President Bola Tinubu. The world leaders were ranked by the Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project, or the OCCRP. Now, the global network of investigative journalists that specializes in organized crime and corruption. Ruto and Tinubu were the finalists for the OCCRP's Person of the Year Award. The top ranked, that is the most corrupt leaders title, was given to former Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. Kenya's William Ruto was placed 2nd, and Nigeria's Bola Tinubu secured the 3rd spot. In West Africa's Nigeria also marched against the Tinubu administration last year. The protests were dubbed End to Poor Governance, calling out the government graft. At the center of these protests were his controversial economic reforms, which included removing decades-long costly fuel subsidy to save money. Tinubu claimed that these reforms would fix the economy. However, it further burdened Nigerians with skyrocketing inflation and fuel scarcity. The Nigerian President Tinubu has been accused of amassing enormous wealth for himself and his family. He has also faced scrutiny for being a drug dealer in the US in the past. He was also rocked by allegations of certificate forgery shortly after he was inaugurated as the president in 2023. Now, during his presidency, he has faced backlash over his economic policies. Similarly, Kenyan President Ruto...
Hold it there, with all due respect. I'm here to speak only about Nigeria. Mr. Alexander Stubb, lend me your ears. You've just heard the way the world they describe that man you are going into partnership with when it comes to Simon Ekpa. You've heard about the level of corruption that the so-called #1 citizen of Nigeria has partaken upon, and how he's been seen around the whole world. I will also say, with the world media placing him as #3, that was an injustice, because he should be number 0 before #1. Before a #1, there should be a #0, if you know your counting. And he should be the one, the apex, the la creme of the cream. He should be the icing on the cake when it comes to criminality, when it comes to fraud, and the rest of them. Alexander Stubb, do not taint the character, the reputation of Finland. Finland is too good to get involved in this fraudulent act, whereby you are now technically keeping a Finnish citizen silent. Simon Ekpa has been kept incommunicado over a so-called investigation under your watch. Mr. Alexander Stubb, you are the ones fighting, you are speaking out for Ukraine over Russia. The same way Simon Ekpa is speaking for his own people. You are based in Finland and you are speaking out for a different country, another country, Ukraine, for their freedom, for their liberty, and the rest. The same way Simon Ekpa, who is based in Finland, in this case, he is speaking for the freedom and liberation of his own people. I repeat, Simon Ekpa is speaking for the freedom, the liberation of his own people. So whomsoever between the two of you has committed any crime, you let me know. You are speaking for a people, Simon Ekpa is speaking for his own people. Alexander Stubb, do not allow Nigeria to tarnish the image of Finland. If not, what you have right now is the reputation. They say a good name is better than silver or gold. Alexander Stubb, do not allow Nigeria, a criminal country, a criminal enterprise, a shithole country, a fraudulent country, a banana republic country, A country where the citizens are all criminals. When it comes to fraud, you name Nigeria. When it comes to criminality, you name Nigeria. When you, oh my God, whatever evil in this world, a Nigerian is also there. Alexander Stubb, Lord have mercy. Do not taint the reputation of Finland. Finland, when it comes to population, you are a very small country. All you have is the good name, your reputation. You are highly reputable. When it comes to the who is who in the world, Finland is seen as one of the best countries to live in because everything about you is transparent, accountable, and reliable. At this point, Lord have mercy. At this point, Lord have mercy. I wish Mr. Alexander Stubb to understand that the lies they told to you that Simon Ekpa is the one influencing us in what we do. I want you to understand that Biafra has come to stay. We are living in the 21st century, Mr. Alexander Stubb. The days of crying and begging people to come and save us, those days are gone. We ain't here waiting for a redeemer, for a God to come from heaven to save us. Leave that for the naysayers. We are here to save ourselves. We are here to guard ourselves. We are here to liberate ourselves. We ain't waiting for the cloud to crack open and for the angels to come down in their horses and chariots to come and save with the Biafrans. We have taken the destiny into our hands and we have liberated ourselves. Alexander Stubb, do not allow Nigeria to destroy the reputation of Finland. While you are holding Simon Ekpa in Finland incommunicado, we have moved on because the assignment must be done. I want you to listen to the Deputy Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile. Listen to her words, listen to her speech, then you will understand that we are all Simon Ekpa. And Simon Ekpa is us. Whatever Simon Ekpa is doing, we the 80 million Biafrans, we are doing it and we love it. Whatever Simon Ekpa is doing on our behalf, we the 80 million Biafrans, we are doing it on our behalf and the behalf of Simon Ekpa, and we love it. And we shall never stop doing it because for us, it is all about to liberate ourselves. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. If it's okay for you to speak for the liberation of Finland and the rest of them, Ukraine and the rest of them, then it is okay for Simon Ekpa to speak at least for the liberation of his own people. Mr. Alexander Stubb, lend me your ears. If it is okay for you to speak to Russia, to shield their sword when it comes to Ukraine, when it's okay for you to speak to NATO, to support Ukraine with arms and ammunition so that they could defend themselves against Russia. If it's okay for you to say those things, nobody has come to you to arrest you. Nobody has come to take you and lock you up incommunicado. No countries have come to you to interview or detain you as you are doing to Simon Ekpa. Simon Ekpa was speaking for the liberation of his own people. He has the right to speak for the liberation of his own people. If you have the right to speak for Ukraine, then Simon Ekpa has the right to speak for the people of Biafra. Alexander Stubb, lend me your ears. I want you to listen to the words of the Deputy Prime Minister of the Biafra nation, USB, United States of Biafra. Lend me your ears. Listen.
We have no mercy for those that come to disrupt the restoration of this struggle. We don't negotiate with anyone. We will never do that. Because when you do things like that, you encourage the same thing to be inside the government, and they will continue to do what they are doing. There's an adage that says, no matter how you try to leave them, to forgive them, to accept them, they will still come up with that same behavior. Because Nigerian government has a process of divide and conquer. They use people within to destroy what Biafrans are doing. We already know that, and that is why they are not going anywhere. That is why we stop them on their track. That is why we discover them anywhere they are, and we bring them down. That is what we will continue to do. No mercy. No mercy, because lives have been lost. People have died. Children have died. not joking. Anybody, any attorney, any lobbyist, you think we are joking in this restoration process? I pity you. Sorry will be your name.
Thank you very much, our Deputy Prime Minister. Alexander Stubb, what you just heard is the voice of the Deputy Prime Minister of the Biafra nation. Because Nigeria has penetrated the government, they have bought some people and turned them into saboteurs. The so-called accusation of Simon Ekpa was done as a result of Nigeria being a criminal country. Nigeria being a criminal country, they have colluded with some people in-house to betray Simon Ekpa. They have lied in the name of Simon Ekpa. They have given a dog a bad name just to hang it. Alexander Stubb, Simon Ekpa has no case to answer. We the Biafrans, we have looked inwards. We've been able to find out those betrayers and saboteurs who have tainted the name of Simon Ekpa, who have blackmailed Simon Ekpa, who has lied to you, Finland, about Simon Ekpa, and those who are working with the Nigerian government against Simon Ekpa. We have told you that Nigeria is fantastically corrupt. They spend the money from the oil money they get from the Biafra land across. They are able to spend as much as they can. The same man they call Tinubu, he said, something that money cannot solve, more money can solve it. Alexander Stubb, lend me your ears. You have heard from the Biafran people. Do not allow Nigeria to taint the reputation of Finland. If you lose your reputation, it will take you 1,000,000 years to get it back. That's the only thing going for Finland right now. We see you as a country that is just. We see you as a country that is fair. We see you as a country that respects the rule of law. We see you as a country that practices real democracy. We see you as a very simple country that don't believe in fraud and the rest of them. When it comes to the best countries in the world, Finland is synonymous to one. Alexander Stubb, it is time to protect the reputation of Finland. Alexander Stubb, you have to do what is right. Let's go, Simon Ekpa. He has no case to answer in Finland. You know, and I know, that Nigeria cannot be trusted. You know, and I know, you just heard the reputation of the so-called president of Nigeria. In Nigeria, elephant can fly. In Nigeria, they don't believe in democracy. What they do is tribalized democracy, where a few of them come together as a cartel because Britain has told them, the Fulani cabal, Britain has told them they were born to rule. That is why first time you are hearing about a Muslim ticket, where the president is Muslim and the vice president is Muslim in a so-called secular country. Alexander Stubb, working with Nigeria will taint the image of Finland. Wash your hands off. Let them know you have nothing to do with Nigeria, because Nigeria is a criminal country. Nigeria is fantastically corrupt. Alexander Stubb, you will put your name in history. Give the Biafrans a chance to liberate themselves. Do not get involved. Don't be the president of Finland that somehow in the 11th hour, when the Biafrans are about to liberate themselves, you somehow went. Oh my God. Lord have mercy. Alexander Stubb, don't be that one. Don't be that one. Don't be that guy. Do you want to be that guy? That at the end in history, when history is written down, that Finland that gave Biafra their national anthem, the composer of the Biafran national anthem came from Finland. Don't be the guy, don't be that man from Finland that stopped the leader of Biafra when Biafra has already declared herself an independent nation. Alexander Stubb, it should not be in your watch. Be careful. Protect the reputation of Finland. Protect it like a vaccine. Stay clear of Nigeria. Don't be tempted by the oil money. They've got money, yes. They've got money. But it is blood money. It is ill-gotten money. Do not get involved, Alexander Stubb. We see Finland as a beacon of hope, which was why our Prime Minister, His Excellency, Mazi Ekpa Simon Njoku, chose to pitch his tent in Finland. Alexander Stubb, you've heard from us. Do what is right and let go Simon Ekpa. Thank you, and may God bless you.
North very close to the city of Kharkiv. What we see is that momentum right now appears to sit with the Russians. Zelensky and the Ukrainians are desperate for more long-range missiles, more air defenses, more of the weaponry that they say they could effectively neutralize the Russian threat if only they had been given them in timely fashion.
I agree. That's why Finland has been very front heavy on this. We just came out with a package when I visited Zelensky early April with a security agreement and actually with air defenses and heavy ammunition. And everyone needs to do this. We need to continue to do this. The US...
you must listen to the Americans, for example, when they say to the Ukrainians, you must not hit Russia's oil infrastructure. It is an escalatory act which is not in your, and indeed the wider world's interest. Do you think that is a fundamental mistake, that kind of message?
My main worry right now is not the price of oil. My main worry is that Ukraine must win this war. And in that sense, I think Ukraine has fairly free hands what it can do. Remember, it is facing a huge aggressor, which is violating all rules of war and all international law. And it must win no matter what.
Boom, there you go. You were here speaking for Ukraine, which is great. It's a good thing to do. You're speaking for your country. Speaking of how they need support, ammunitions, and they must do what they must do to win the war against Russia. Likewise, our Prime Minister, His Excellency, Mazi Simon Ekpa, is speaking in this case for his own people. You are speaking for a different country, Ukraine, which is a good thing to do. But in the same vein, the Prime Minister of Biafra, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko, is speaking for his own people, for the liberation of his people, for the freedom of his people, for the emancipation of his people from Nigeria. On the 29th of November in Finland, we, the Biafrans, we declared our independence. Alexander Stubb, all we are saying, what is good for Ukraine is good for Biafra. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. If you seek freedom for Ukraine, Simon Ekpa is seeking freedom for the Biafrans. That's all we're asking for. Why must it be different when it comes to a black man? Are you telling me because Simon Ekpa is a black man, an African, it means he cannot speak? He doesn't have the right to speak the way you do for Ukraine, for his own people, Biafra? Is that what you're telling me? Alexander, stop. You are Finnish. Simon Ekpa too is a Finnish man. You are speaking for a different country, Ukraine. In this case, Simon Ekpa is speaking for his own people, Biafra. Are you telling me he's wrong for doing that? Are you telling me your police has to arrest him, ask him questions for how many weeks now? For about 4 to 5 weeks? For speaking for the freedom of his own people? But you have the right to say what you said for Ukraine, a different country? Rethink and reconsider. Alexander Stubb, you must rethink and reconsider for all that is good. Simon Ekpa is doing this for his people. The same way nobody will fault you if you speak on behalf of the Finnish people, because you are doing it for your people. But in this case, you are speaking for a different country. You are speaking for the liberation of a different country. You are speaking for them to be able to arm themselves, to protect themselves against Russia. But on the other hand, Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, who was chosen by the 80 million Biafrans to be their Prime Minister, he is speaking on behalf of the 80 million Biafrans that have redeclared their independence on the 29th of November 2024 in Lahti, Finland. Mr. Alexander Stubb, you must be fair. Freedom, equality under the law does not care about the skin tone of a person. It doesn't care about the race of a person. Don't make me to assume that Finland is only talking about freedom when it comes to the white people. Don't make me to think about that. I don't even want to phantom that in my mind. So please, Make haze while the sun shines. Let's go Simon Ekpa to continue the job he's doing to liberate his people. We the Biafrans, we demand freedom from Nigeria. We are done with Nigeria. Britain made us one. Britain made 3 countries come together in force to make us one. Our colonial masters, Britain, came to Africa and made a different people. 3 different nations, one. And since then, we don't have love for ourselves. There is enmity between all the different tribes and nations within that thing they call Nigeria. It's not been working. That was why there was the Biafran War from 1967 to 1970. Since then till now, it has not been working. My people has been killed. My people has been subjugated by that thing called Nigeria and Britain. And we are saying we are done with Nigeria. We divorce ourselves from Nigeria. Alison, stop. Don't be the one. Don't be the stumbling block for the people of Biafra. Do not be the one. You must protect Finland. Protect the reputation of Finland. Thank you very much, and may God bless you.
Biafra must be restored, for there is nothing the enemies can do about it. You brought Biafra that light may come into Africa. You gave us hope because we are in a continent of hopelessness. And by thy grace, Biafra shall be restored. We shall be resurrected. We shall crown our efforts with the glory by the grace of the Most High Himself. We are not strong. We do not pretend to be strong. All we do is to submit ourselves to your will, that your will may be done upon our lives. We have lost many people. We have lost so many good people. Their sacrifice will never be forgotten. We shall honor them, and for their sake, Biafra will come. Because we are wandering all over the world, hoping against every hope that things will turn around for the better. It has never turned around for the better. Instead, it is getting worse. Please do not abandon your children. You have given us a commission, and we must accomplish it in our lifetime. Our enemies are equally important because they must listen. Those who do not love the truth must listen. Those who are beholden to darkness, they must also listen. For we are here to bring light upon a very darkened continent without Biafra. Africa is nothing without Biafra. There is no difference between a black man and a wild animal in the forest. We say every shred with every ounce of conviction. I welcome each and every one of you. If you're joining us for the very first time, this is Radio Biafra. This is how we do it. We magnify the name of the Most High before we do anything. That is why we are exceptionally formidable. That is why...